Jon Girodes, man of the people, candidate for New York State Senate, and accused Craigslist scammer. The arrest of Smilin' Jon Girodes is the latest bizarre twist in the story of this political hotshot. Accused of balancing his personal budget with other people's cash.
My worst fear came true in life.
But if you ask him, this wannabe Politico turned jailbird is now singing a different tune.
I've been railroaded just like my fellow inmates down the line.
Handsome, charming, confident. That's the vision of Jon Girodes that beams from his billboards here in Harlem. Promising affordable housing for citizens of New York's 30th District. But Girodes' campaign was hardly without controversy. At times, it seemed like a politically incorrect ticking time bomb, just waiting to explode. Once, he reportedly emailed a journalist from New York television station WNBC, inviting her to a campaign fundraiser in Harlem featuring fried chicken, watermelon, and Kool-Aid.
What did you think?
Well, it looked like he had a pretty dark cloud over his head.
But that's nothing compared to his latest troubles. Last fall, prosecutors say Girodes advertised his apartment for rent on Craigslist, a gorgeous Hell's Kitchen condo in a multi-million-dollar building, all for only around $1,100 a month.
Mr. Girodes would invite people to his apartment to wine and dine them, and then once he collected first, last security deposit, he would come up with various reasons why they couldn't move in.
When they say that New York is a tough city, they are not joking.
Student Sarah Angela says she was taken in by the smooth-talking Senate candidate.
You've got the lease signed. Mm-hmm. He asks you for how much money?
$9,000 total up front.
And you give it to him?
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Sarah wasn't the only one. Author Nina Wolf says she gave Girodes down payments of thousands of dollars. So did photographer Amanda Stevens and model McKinley Thomas. I sat down with a number of Girodes' alleged victims.
So how would you describe your impression of him when you first met him?
He looked like a playboy. You know, designer jeans, the very expensive white t-shirt that were all create the effect of I'm trying without trying, and I'm spending a lot of money while doing it.
They say the candidate's sales pitch starts with tall tales of life in the political spotlight.
He told me that he was Sonia Sotomayor's nephew. He had photographs all over the apartment.
The Supreme Court Justice.
Correct. It was all very believable.
But they say after he pockets the cash, Girodes and the apartment suddenly become unavailable.
And when it came time to move, it was 1,000 excuses all day long.
Text messages show excuses like, the elevator is still out of commission. I am on my way to the hospital. I have a lump on the left side of my body. Or simply, not happening today. Why? It's simple, prosecutors say. Girodes had leased that gorgeous view to over a dozen hopeful renters, many with the same move-in date.
You were sitting at the building with your movers,
Yeah.
Amanda, and Nina, you were on the stoop in Brooklyn waiting for your movers.
That's correct.
And I was in Washington Heights waiting for the movers that he promised me.
So you were all about to move in at the same time?
On the
I
same
was
day?
waiting too at the hotel
You were
while all
waiting
of
as
this was
well?
happening. I'm like, what is he doing? But I didn't know he was doing this.
None of us did.
When the renters do find out, it's a mad scramble to get their money back. They say that's when dealing with Girodes gets even more bizarre.
I chased that man all over this city. He told me to stay and meet him here, there, and everywhere.
He calls me and says, yeah, I'm sorry, my sister just died, and da-da-da. And I'm like, what do you mean she died? He was like, she was here in the apartment, you know, she's been sick. And he starts to, like, fake cry.
Peter, who asked us not to use his last name, was on the hook for $15,000 and says he had recorded conversations.
And you're gonna get your money. I'm on your side, Peter. I want you to get them because it's no fun for me having you hound me. Trust me, I'd rather give birth to a baby whale to my all right?
He
So-
also did, in a sense, proposition me on text. When I said I have no place to sleep, he said, well, you can sleep you can sleep here if you want and spend the night. And then he texted me, but I snore. I was like, oh my God. You know, I mean, he's really off the wall.
Lawyer Pierre Gooding says Girodes' scheme added up to a hefty payday.
Right now, we believe it's about $50,000, but that's what we know about.
But instead of smiling all the way to the bank, Girodes finds himself smirking all the way to the slammer. Arrested on 10 counts of grand larceny, 2 counts of scheme to defraud, and 1 count of identity theft. In fact, he actually had to sit out last November's election because he was in jail, awaiting trial.
It was just, I don't know, it just made me even more furious about what was going on.
Coming up, Girodes campaigns for his freedom in an exclusive interview with us from behind bars. And just wait until you hear how he plans to get to the promised land.
All I can tell you, if this was a movie, the people would be siding with me right now and cheering me on.